9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Hello, lovely people. Hope you're well. Welcome back to another Prem panel show. Delighted to be joined by George representing Tottenham, Carefree Lewis representing Chelsea, and we have got a Man City fan as well in the building. Shout out to Daps from Never a Foul on YouTube. Big up to you three. Matt will be joining us shortly as well. Drift won't be able to make the show. Neither will KG or Aaron. However, thoughts go out to all of those guys. You know, they're our brothers. Obviously, guys, as always, housekeeping. Make sure you smash the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel. But also, more important than that, these guys have given up their time to come and bless us on this channel. So make sure you click the link in the description on all their channels and go and subscribe and get their numbers up because they deserve it. How are we guys doing?
I'm good.
Right.
I'm all right.
Right. Yeah. Everyone hates us, but we stay winning. So it's all
Daps gave me a little look as if to say, "How do you think, bro?"
You know what? I don't want to talk over anyone. However, we are still top of the league. Let me just remind every single person in this room and in the live chat.
Nice.
We are still
what a
top of the
Champions League. Let's go.
Well, that's the perfect way to start this, I think, Daps. And obviously, as a guest on tonight, you're a Man City fan. No secrets. I'm a Liverpool fan. We're breathing down your neck, literally, as things stand. The form table as it stands, in the last 5, Liverpool have had 5 W's, the same as Chelsea, by the way. You've had 3 dubs, 1 L, and 1 draw. And the gap is now 1 point.
You know what? That sounds better than what I was thinking. 3 W's, to be fair. Our form's atrocious.
It's not bad. And here's the thing. This is where this league is so crazy. 3 wins out of 5 is never seen as terrible form. But because of the consistency of Liverpool and Man City over the last few years, it's crazy. And I just want to bring up a couple of images. It's the first one. So since 2018-19 season,
I saw that earlier.
Pep has won 335 points and Klopp has won 334. This season, 70 points for Pep and 69 for Klopp. It could not literally get any closer between the two. Wow. It is crazy, the consistency. And to think we've both had poor seasons in that period as well, and we've accumulated so many points. So, Daps, I'm going to come to you first. There's 1 point in it now. We all know how 18-19 finished with you guys pipping us by a point. Do you see similarities between this season and that season?
No.
Okay, elaborate for me,
bro. You know, so I've just been on a City pod. We did a complete therapy session breakdown. It's quite nice. For once, we're talking negative.
Must be nice.
Right. So your squad has changed. Your squad is better. Your squad is thicker. Your squad is stronger. Right now, our squad, I'm waiting to see who is going to step up, who is going to be our Yaya, who is going to be our Vincent Kompany, who is going to be our Aguero. You know what? So I've done all the different. I've looked at it in all the different angles of how I can look at it. I'm typical City. Listen, let me put it out there. Although my accent might sound southern, I was a season ticket holder at Main Road. I lived in Manchester till the age of 16. So right now, if we finish second, go on a run in the Champions League, right, and we're already in the quarters of the FA Cup, listen, that's still a fucking good season compared to what I grew up watching. So we're built differently. We are built differently. We're not Man United fans. We're not spoiled Arsenal fans. We are built differently, and it's fine. And you know what? We're hoping to have a good summer and come stronger next year. However, I have to be honest. Right now, you are looking very clinical. Yesterday proved it, and we are not. Monday night proved it. But this is football. This is football. We play you, we draw with you, we beat you. Everything changes.
True. Very true.
Momentum can swing just like that. Momentum is it's in your favor right now, though. I'd be thick to not say that.
So are you worried? Because what was the points gap was 12 points at one stage.
Right, hold on. Let's not do this. Right.
Right. Triggered already.
Listen, no. Listen, right. Sky Sports and their 50% Liverpool panel have done sensational work, right? Sensational work about knowing you're not going to go unbeaten, knowing you're not going to get 100 points. So they've come up with this other narrative that if we make out Liverpool was so far behind and have clawed it back, then, let's be real. You had many games in hand. And at that point, you and us are the only teams that can go on 18, 19 games unbeaten. Yeah. So once you take out of it the games in hand, the point difference. Yes, if you're Tottenham or Arsenal, games in hand do not mean 3 points. If you're Liverpool and Man City, generally that means 3 points. So if you were to go back to January and look at those games in hand and see them as 9 points, it was not a 12 or 13 point difference. So let's not do that.
I've heard 14 as well, by the way.
It's mad, isn't it? I've heard loads of. I've been trying to find out what it was. It's ranging between 11 and 14, and I don't know the answer. But I'll be honest. When I saw that, my answer to everyone early doors in January was, listen, you're making out like Liverpool are not that team that can win every single game. So let's not do this because they're Liverpool. And however much I might not like Liverpool, I've got a lot of respect for them. Like, you just saw the points that Klopp and Pep have got. Come on.
It's crazy. All right, so, George, I know you catch strays, and this isn't meant to be a stray.
I knew it.
No, but I have to caveat because I don't want it to come
disclaimer
across
isn't good,
No.
Hold on. Can we just rewind to like the third game of the season where we were top? That's the only time I was ever happy.
But Lewis, you've been in close title runs. If I'm not mistaken, was it 09-010 with Man United? Was it 08-09?
Yeah, went to the last day.
The pressure in those seasons is crazy. And Liverpool and Man City are both in 3 competitions. You've got the Premier League, which is between us two, FA Cup and Champions League. Do you think those other trophies will become a distraction for a team? And if so, who more for, Liverpool or Man City?
You guys are now level on games in hand, right?
Yeah. All games are all level now.
I don't really know, to be honest, because you guys have good depth, both of you. So I think you can handle multiple fixtures. Like City won the Premier League last season and went to the Champions League final. They can handle multiple competitions. They went to the semis of the FA Cup as well. So I think it's definitely capable for you guys because last season your problem was lack of depth and you guys have improved on that. So I don't really think it's too much of a distraction for you guys. The question is just going to be the intangibles like injuries, but it's something that you can't really solve. If it happens to a player, it happens to a player. But I can't lie, you guys' rivalry has been this good for the last few years because of the high standards. Like, our problem has been that we've drawn too many games. But the fact that we've got closer to you guys just shown our progress as a club, but the standards are still too far back. We can't have a slip up like we did in December. Past seasons you can. This season you can't because you're winning it on 100 points, 97 points. You're running up with about 98 points or something like that. It's always in the high 90s. So I don't really think cup competitions are going to have an impact on that. It's really just going to be who makes the least mistakes because that's what it comes up to when the title race is that tight. Who makes the least mistakes and the 10th of April when you guys fight. But let's be real, it's all just speculation until then. You're waiting for one of you guys to slip and it doesn't really look like either one of you are. So it's just a waiting game.
Really? You know what? We look pretty slippery for where right now, bro.
Like you guys all fixed up. I think the problem with you lot is you're not used to it. Like you've had what? Is it 2 draws or something? I doubt it's been that bad. It'd be something that if it was us, we wouldn't even think it was that deep.
You know what? Someone asked me the other day on the Spaces what, as a City fan, what we speak about on shows. And I said, the thing is that you get used to, and you probably, Callum, is similar to this. You get used to being more critical. because you have to be. So believe me, we've had our rifts internally. I mean, I have not had rifts with City fans like I have these last couple of days, but we have had rifts like over weird things. Just you do notice things. So the one thing I would say is I noticed our form dipping when we dropped points to Southampton. I think it was something like the 22nd of January. And after that, from then to now, yeah, we've won quite a few games. But you know, when you win but play badly, if you're top, yeah, then you're seen as, or if you're in a title race, it's seen as, you know what, this is worrying that they're winning games even when they're playing badly. And that's true. That can be the narrative. However, once we lost to Tottenham, that narrative changed. That narrative became concern, right? And that's what I feel. Before then, we were like, we play well against Chelsea. We play well against Man United. We played well against Sporting away. Apart from that, since January, I can't tell you. Everton, we were shocking. Brentford, we were bad. We won 2-0, but we were bad. I can pick a lot of games, and we just haven't looked clinical. And then these guys go and buy another striker, and all of a sudden they're...
Yeah, but what's weird though, right? I didn't think you guys played badly against us at all. Like, you hammered us for a lot of the game, right? It was a lot of chances, and we're just sort of lucky in a way that we got a new signing in Kulusevski, which was finally putting in some great crosses into the box, which we haven't had for all season. And then Kane is just back to his best form, and he's a very, very clinical forward. So I feel like it's just we got some very good scenarios in that game, but you guys still hammered the chances and had plenty of other chances to score as well. I don't think you played badly in that game.
The thing is, when you look at it, I don't know if you guys are aware of this or not, but City's points dropped this season. Tottenham, home and away. Crystal Palace, home and away. Southampton, home and away. And Liverpool. Now, I see you smiling, Callum, but we can drop points to you and still win the league.
I know.
But, you know, if we go by that narrative, we ain't winning that game. If we go by that narrative. However...
You can't see it because it's off camera, but my table's rising and you guys see where my hands are. Aye, that's the sort of talk I want to hear.
You're a big club. You shouldn't be getting excited about winning the league, bro.
No, I should. When it's like this, I should. I want every trophy. I want every trophy. I even want the Audi Cup, bro.
Hey, hands off. That's the only thing we've got. All right.
But George, sticking with you. So obviously you've seen City do this, you've seen Liverpool do this before. As things stand right now, who would you say from the outside looking in is the most important player or set of players in the run-up between now and the end of the season for both teams? Big up,
so for each team, is interesting. I think for me, it was whether you got, because I know obviously Salah's a bit of an obvious one for you guys, but he was a lot of question marks over after his return from the African Cup of Nations as to whether he was looking fired up as much. But to be honest with you, I think your addition of Luis Diaz has sort of helped level that up a bit regardless. I mean, Salah's still getting goals here and there, but you can see he's not exactly been the very, very clinical player he was for the first half of the season. Yeah. But the signing of Luis Diaz has helped you massively going forward anyway. So he's picked up when Jota's been injured, when maybe Salah hasn't necessarily been 100%. So I think you're fine on that regard as well, to be honest with you. And I think Konate as well, being able to rotate between him and Matip, you've done a lot better this year because of that. City's a tough one for me, to be honest with you, because for me it's constantly just seeing rotation from rotation. Grealish for 100 mil, obviously not hit the ground running at all at City. But then again, he's in and out of the team because then you've got either Mahrez starting or Foden's out wide. Where Foden's up top, you've got Sterling, and even Sterling doesn't play because of someone else. So for me, I can't put a pin on City at all because I don't personally know what the best 11 is with that squad. It changes a lot for me. But yeah, that's it for me really. I don't know who's. I think KDB as well is obviously he's the main guy. And I think a couple of months ago when he came back and looked mega sharp, I think he's going to make a huge difference come the end of the season.
Do you agree, Daps?
You know what? This is a thing that with us at the moment, I've been saying this week, we could have this season we could have done the league the way we did it last season, or 2017, 2018, where usually City, when we do have the league wrapped up early, we usually have it wrapped up round of like early March, say, but by mid-February, you kind of know it's heading that way. We've decided this week we don't want to do that for whatever fucking reason. We've decided we do not want to do that, right? We want to go back to old. We want to go back to old City. We want to go back to 93-20. We want to go back to Yaya Toure beast mode. We want to go back to the running with you lot, where we're better. We're better hunting. That's what we're good at. For me, the only issue is when I'm looking around, I'm trying to find the Vincent Company. I'm trying to find the Yaya Toure. I'm trying to find the Kun Aguero. And usually when it gets to the business end, that's when they appear. Remember under Pellegrini when I think Aguero was injured and Yaya just stepped up, and every game Yaya would just grab the game and go, nope, we're winning this.
Yeah,
I'd even go as far as go back to the FA Cup semi-final against Liverpool, against United in 2011. Yaya did the same thing in that game, right? And when I look around the team over these last couple of weeks, in particular the other day, right, and I'm seeing it for you. Let me just speak on Liverpool quickly. I'm seeing it with Van Dijk, right? Not defensively. I've noticed for 3-4 weeks now, Van Dijk on corners is like prime Vincent Company. Yeah, he wants to outjump everyone. He wants to be that leader that gets the goal in the 15th, 20th minute just to settle things. And I'm not seeing that from anyone. I saw it against Chelsea and Kevin De Bruyne, to be fair, and I saw it against Man United in Kevin De Bruyne. So he's the player that I think has it in him. But apart from that, I'm looking around and I'm like, I'm not seeing those people that can. But this is football. Like I keep saying, one game, everything changes.
Really sounds like you could have done with Harry Kane up top in that team.
What, dropping deep? No. Not for
He
me.
got the golden boot and the assist in one season because of doing that.
Not for me.
He's leveled the game.
So, Lewis, I'm going to come to you on that because, again, that's a lovely little segue to the next question I was going to ask you. You've obviously had your striker problems this season. In fact, you've had them for a couple of seasons.
Literally every season.
Now, obviously, you look at Man City, they were linked with Harry Kane heavily. They're now linked with Haaland. Arguably the two best strikers in world football. Obviously, Lewandowski, Benzema have that argument as well. Is it as simple as you throw a striker in at City and things change for the better? Or do you think them getting a striker has to be a particular type of striker?
Not really, because City are already at such a high of a standard. Like, even in spite of not winning a striker, again, they've won the Premier League. They made it to the Champions League final. They can beat the best teams in spite of it. It's a slight weakness, but the level of their chance creation is so high, it doesn't really matter. They make so many good chances per game, like they're guaranteed to win games. The striker just makes it easier for them to score. Probably just means the goal difference starts becoming a bit ridiculous. But City's dominance over the last 5 years speaks for itself. Like, when it comes to league competitions, they just blow everybody out the water. It's just going to be easier for them in that case. So, worrying if they get that sort of striker, yes. But again, it just also raises the standard. Like, that's what you have to reach if you want to be the best team in England, I guess. But they've already done it. Like, it's 4 league titles in 5. Like, you can be scared to a point, but like they're already a dominant team as it is. So things.
I like this show. I like this show. You lot are nice. I like this show.
Hey, it's because we ain't had the chance to talk about Europe yet, so you can. It's what it is. But like I already said, Man City. Let's be real, they're a joke anyway. You just add a striker there, and they become even stronger. What's there to be worried about when the monster's already facing you? So that's the way I look at it.
Facts.
I think just to touch on the point of the striker is, I said earlier about the games that we've lost, right? And it's the only one I would maybe say is slightly different is the Tottenham game. Tottenham game, maybe not. That was just, but Southampton home and away, Palace home and away, those two in particular, all 4 of those games, we were screaming out for a striker. If we had a striker, we would have won them. And they're the games that, I mean, I've been saying all season, I'm not mad about getting Haaland. I'd be happy with settling for a modern day Giroud, a modern day Zeko. I've even joked with Origi, right, that a plan B off the bench that can come on.
Whoa.
Honestly, a plan B that can come off the bench, that's happy to sit on the bench, not getting mad because against certain teams you do have to play, like Liverpool. I think against Liverpool, playing with a striker and not the false nine, we might lose something in the middle of the pitch, and then maybe we won't be as dominant. So, but in particular, the other day against Palace, Grealish was doing for the first time what is a very City type move: get to the byline, some intricate passes, get to the byline, just cut it back, and usually there's someone there. Usually Aguero, maybe Sterling, and there was no one there. And it's at those points where you think this is where we need a striker. This is where we need, and I don't mean a Gabriel Jesus that isn't really a striker. I mean, this is where we need a fox in the box, a killer that is just going to be there and put it away. An
Jamie
Origi.
Vardy.
Let's say an Origi.
Vardy is a good shout if he was a bit younger as well.
Yeah, if he wasn't, 50.
Yeah, I said 50. So let's just go around the circle then, guys, before we move on to the next segment. George, I'll start with you. Who's winning the league, Liverpool or Man City?
I looked at the fixtures yesterday, and I've got to say City. I think City's only tough game is Liverpool, and like Daps was saying before, if they lose that, I think they'll win the rest. To be honest with you, so unfortunately, I think it's going to be City.
Unfortunately.
Oh, just because I'm always on here. There's no City fan to switch things up a little bit.
Lewis, what are you saying, bro?
Chelsea.
You know, someone was talking about that earlier. Could you imagine if Liverpool and City?
Sorry.
Biggest.
Too cool masterclass.
A few drop points here and there. We struggle to lose and everything. You never know. But I won't say too much. We're in the right position. Right now, we need a fucking owner. So, baby steps.
What are you saying, Daps? Are you doing it?
Yeah, City. Come on. I have to.
You know
City.
what I'm going
It's City. Listen, it has to be. We have to do what we do best. City.
Obviously who I'm going to go for. So.
No slippy moments.
Chelsea as well.
Do you know, funny enough though, Daps, just to be transparent, and again, I might as well because it's not like people in the comments would pull me up on it. Up until recently, I said City would win the league, but I always maintained you'd never run away with it.
No, definitely
never run away.
You're too good for that. You're too good for that. This isn't like. Look, we haven't run away since Centurions was the last time, and you were just about starting to bubble then.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was I going to say? I was going to say something then. Oh, carry on. Can't remember what it was. Yeah.
All right. So, guys, title race is done. Guys, in the comments, please let us know who you think is going to win it. Is it going to be Liverpool or Man City? Given that this is a Liverpool channel, I better see a lot of Liverpools in the comments. So make sure you do that, guys. Right. Going to move on to the Rashford situation. Now, there's two talking topics when it comes to Marcus Rashford. But again, guys, I just want to play you a little clip because I think this will lead into what I'm going to speak about and really want to get your thoughts on it. And this is more so for anyone who hasn't seen it at home as well. So this is what happened yesterday with Marcus Rashford.
Come on, Rashford! After that performance, come on, guys! Come on, let's do something there!
Fucking Belen. Fucking Belen. He was fucking shy.
Yeah, of course.
So, Rashford came out and apologized about this. So, from what has been said, he was getting abuse from these fans. Again, we only see some of that. That's the only snippet I've been able to get a hold of. But I think a wider conversation has to be had. And look, we're all YouTubers, and I know we've all experienced certain things that we shouldn't have experienced. But where is the line, in your opinion, guys, between criticism and banter and abuse? Because it seems as though that seems to be a blurry line, and maybe it's dependent on who's receiving said criticism, banter, or abuse, but where, in your opinion, is the line? So, George, I'll start with you, bro. One, do you think Rashford's done anything wrong? And two, what do you think could be done about the situation?
To be honest with you, I'm leaning more towards Rashford's side because I think it's just a bit of a joke, to be honest with you, that there's this weird thing amongst fans that we just sort of expect players or managers, whoever it may be, to just be perfect all the time, like we are, but obviously people aren't. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's no hiding that Man U have been pretty crap the whole season, right? Or for most of the season. And Marcus Rashford is clearly not having a great season either. But I've seen a lot of things. If you're quite literally shouting abuse at a human being, are you really expecting them not to retaliate eventually? Especially because this isn't just a one-time thing. It's not like Man U have been great. They've had one bad game and he's reacted badly. Like that would be a bad show of character. It's the fact that it's constantly, after every single game, he's probably getting tweets, fans outside the ground, fans in the ground booing and whatnot. And it's just like, you've got to expect a retaliation at some point from just another human being that is like having this pressure piled onto them. Of course they're going to come out with something. Maybe they shouldn't have, maybe not, but no one is quite literally perfect. Like, there's going to be moments like if someone's saying something to you about you, aren't you going to want to say something back to them? And I think as well, if you're willing to hurl abuse at someone, you've got to be willing to actually say it in front of them face to face, which is, I think, is what Marcus was trying to say, is what he said. He said, "I'll go and tell that to me to my face," sort of thing. And it's right. I think a lot of this toxicity and negativity for me, it's always, you see how it's just a bunch of people all behind the fence, nowhere near the player, willing to hurl abuse. But I just really don't think they would do that one-on-one with someone. And it's just like, I think fans need to hold accountability as well, because he has the phone primed and ready to then say abuse at him, expecting a reaction. He's getting the reaction, and now he's got 100,000 retweets and whatever on Twitter from it, sort of thing. And it's just ridiculous, to be honest with you. I think you can always criticize someone in any single sport. You can criticize anyone, no matter what they do, but in an analytical sort of way. You've got to say he's done that poorly because of this. This is how he does it better. If you're just constantly sending abuse at someone, it's a joke. Like, how do you expect them to react? They're not robots. Let's be real. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it triggered me a bit seeing how disrespectful a lot of fans can be. And I'm not perfect. I've done it in the past, calling a player shit or this, that, and the other, when it's really it's just not necessary. I could have said they were bad because of this reason. Let's move on to the next thing. Like, I could have done that, but I'm not perfect either. I've said poor things. Everyone has. I think people just need to go over it.
But George, I bet you since there, yeah, and probably by doing YouTube and everything, you probably do it less now than you used to.
Oh, 100%. I definitely do it.
Because I'm the same. Yeah.
But you're sort of learning from it, and I feel like a lot of times, a lot of fans don't learn from it, and they're just constantly, especially, not to make it a whole Twitter thing or social media thing, but the reality is people are hiding behind faceless accounts, just constantly, and I mean constantly, sending abuse with actually the purpose of sending abuse to get a reaction.
It's one of my worries about coming on the Liverpool channel. I'm not going to lie, because I get it. I'm starting to get it more and more off of Liverpool fans, just random, like on Twitter, accept requests with a message. I'm thinking, oh, here we go. If I don't follow them and they don't follow me, this isn't going to be nice. Open it up, and it's just abuse. And I even got told by someone that if I go on streams, then I should be willing to, should be willing to entertain the audience. I'm like, I am in the live chat, but you're now coming into my
hold that Daps, because that's where I was going next. Because again, all of us have been victim to this, or I'm not going to say victim. All of us have experienced this. So, Lewis, I'm going to come to you next, because Matt, obviously, we've been on the channel here where we've seen mad comments come through. Like, again, I'll be real. I've had people, some mad stuff. I've had people DM my wife and all that, and I'm like, I'll roll to your house if I have to. Like,
yeah,
like,
no.
Do you know what I mean?
No.
Lewis, I'll come to you because, again, with that, everyone says obviously we're in the public eye by doing YouTube, and look, we are, and look, there are perks to it as well. Like, again, we've been quite fortunate. All of us have probably walked down the street and people have come up to us and said, "Oh, I really like what you do," and been really nice to us. But on the flip side, we've had it the other way on streams and stuff. Do you think us as YouTubers, or being in sort of this media space, do you think we do have to take it to a certain point? And what is that point, Lewis?
What, in terms of criticism?
Criticism, or I'm not abuse, I'll be honest, I don't really stand for. But I'm willing to have that conversation if someone can justify it. I don't know how they justify it, but I'm willing to have the conversation.
Abuse, no, but like there's a line in between both. Like there's criticism, there's analytical criticism, there's even taking the piss out of a player, but like there's also just straight up abuse, which I don't think anyone agrees with. But that's why I think the different levels are with it. Like with the Rashford situation, like I kind of get both sides, to be honest. Rashford doesn't have to take any criticism from a fan. He can react however he wants personally. So I think anyone complaining about that is just a bit wet, to be honest, and they're just a bit of a snowflake. He can react however he wants. But if the fans are annoyed at his performance, and let's be real, Rashford has been arse all season. Let's be real about it. If you're a fan watching those sorts of performances in the position that Man United are in right now, they're going to be vexed as well. So I get it. I didn't hear the words that was said. As long as it wasn't outright abusive, it is what it is. Your performances have been terrible all season. Like, hold it. Fans aren't going to come and cheer your name. You've been awful. And you're on how much? Like, you could go for hours talking about how dead United are as a club from top to bottom. We don't need to go into that.
We can if you want. I'm all for that. I'm sure three of us would be more than happy.
I knew that after last Saturday, to be honest with you. So.
Yeah, but like with Rashford, what I get, but like in terms of us, like obviously we're not going to agree with abuse, but like players can definitely be criticised, especially if their performances have been poor over a long period of time. Especially when you've been built up the level that Marcus Rashford has been as well. Especially when there's rumours that you want to leave the club and you don't feel like you've been given enough game time. And then you come on and you're the worst player on the pitch. Yeah. Like, I understand the frustration from United fans as much as I think they're absolute vermin. I get it. And I understand Rashford's as well. Like, as long as it's not abusive, it's not deep.
No, I hear that.
I was just going to say quickly, I think there's definitely, you're right, there's a line, but the problem is it's down to everyone, not just fans as well, because there is a certain betting company which I follow on Twitter because usually their tweets are fire and they're funny, but that's because they used to toe the line perfectly of not abusing someone, just quite literally taking the mick in a fun way. But I've seen a lot of stuff now where they're targeting certain players like Maguire constantly, and I think they genuinely. I saw a LinkedIn post on it today. Funny enough, they worked out that it was an average a post a week on Instagram just about this player, and it wasn't even. And you look at the examples, and it wasn't witty stuff at all anymore. It was just actually quite literally just outright abuse of the player, just effectively saying another crap performance or another whatever it may be, this, that, and the other. And it's just like there's responsibility there as well, because if you imagine they've got millions of followers, fans are going to look at that and also think, oh, you know what, it's funny. It's funny to take the piss out of him because look, this massive company's doing it as well. Let's jump on the bandwagon and do the same thing. So there's a responsibility from everyone. But that's why I think as well, fans need to then realize if someone like Marcus Rashford does then sort of come back and say, well, come on then, say it to my face or whatever, then why is that an issue? You shouldn't expect them to not react with things that have been said.
Yeah, I agree. But on to the next subject with Rashford. And Matt, I'm going to come to you with this one. Now, me, you, and Drift have had back and forths about Marcus Rashford. Never have we been linked with the player until today. Now, I think there's less chance of this happening than me beating Floyd Mayweather in a boxing match. With me having one arm tied behind my back as well.
He's getting old, you know. He's getting old.
I still have no chance. Marcus Rashford to Liverpool.
No.
Now we both know this ain't happening. But let's just play devil's advocate because he's been linked with us heavily today.
Yeah.
I heard Bruno to City as well. So don't worry. they're clearly doing this mad one at the moment. It's fine.
Yeah. Matt, do you think he works in a Liverpool team? And if so, where would he play?
All right, here's the thing. Do I think the transfer will happen? No chance. Because unless he literally runs down his contract and literally says he just wants to go to Liverpool, that's the only way he plays for Liverpool. There's no chance in hell that he's under contract and Man United selling to us. That's never going to happen. Can I see him running down his contract? I don't know when it ends. I think he's got maybe 2 more years left, maybe on his contract, if I'm not mistaken.
Something like that,
yeah. He'd have to play the long game. That's the only way I can see it happening. Do I think it will work? In a weird way, yes, because put it like this, He's a hard-working, talented footballer, but I think he's lost his way at Man United. He really has. And for him to kind of go back to the Rashford where he was kind of, what's the word I would say? Not lighting up as such, but really sort of coming into his own. He probably would fit the system, bro. He probably would. That I don't see him as a striker, me personally, but he can play there. I still see him as that inside forward on the left-hand side. I think that's his best position, me personally. I think he's interchangeable. So if you're asking me, would he work for Liverpool? Yes. He'd have to definitely, obviously, up his game, so to speak. But he's got the tools to do it. But it's just one of them transfers, Kyle, where you just know it's never going to happen because it's that whole Man United Liverpool. Like, it never, bro, that does not happen. Like, it's very few and far between over the years that's happened, did it? And especially someone who is from Manchester. We're not just talking about someone, you know, coming from abroad, playing for Manchester United, then playing for Liverpool. We're talking about a Manchester kid, so to speak, born and bred. So it's never going to happen. But I do think, though, if he ever was to come to Liverpool, I think Klopp could make that work. You want to know why? I've seen Klopp do miracles, bro.
That's the thing.
Players who I thought maybe this is a step too far. I'm not going to say the names because I might get some heat. But there's a certain players I thought, I don't know if Klopp can do this, you know, and he's done it. And look what's happened with our squad right now.
Fair dues, Daps. I'm going to come to you because you're the only other person on this panel who Marcus Rashford is not going to move to their team under any circumstances. I want to ask you a slightly different question. If Marcus Rashford does want to leave, as the rumours are suggesting, which club would you recommend him go to where he could potentially regalvanize his career?
You know what? Right. So if he had the choice, then he's got to choose Liverpool or City because exactly like Matt said, I'll use an example. I don't mind getting smoke. Fabian Delph, right? A central midfielder under Pep turned into for that season a capable left back. That is it's like form. When people ask you to predict games, right? You can predict them, but if your form changes, your predictions are going to change. And the same with a player, that a player can look absolute trash under a manager that can't. But if you're looking at any managers in this league that could make Marcus Rashford bang, then yeah, it's Klopp or Pep. It has to be. Yeah, and that's it. At the moment, I look at him, I think he's trash. If he's not scoring goals, I don't know what he does. But that's because his confidence is low at the moment. And just going back to the question before, sorry, because I didn't have my two pence on that. When you watch that video, not much was said. They didn't really say that much to him, but you have no doubt that he's walked the whole length of, and he's probably got some abuse, and it's a bit much. And we all know he's going through something deeper than football. So, and it's hard because one of my issues I'm learning through YouTube, through Spaces, is not to react, because I react very badly to stupid little things. Like, and
it's hard.
It's hard not to.
It's one of my. It's honestly, it's one of the things that I really, really struggle with. I react way over the top on things that aren't personal, but I take it personal, and it's hard. So if you imagine you're a footballer, he is going through mental health issues. We all know it. We know. So, yeah. United fans are kind of bad with that, man. They go too hard. But in regards to that, I can't really think of anyone else, to be honest with you. If he wants to be a good player, it's Pep or Klopp. I'd have no doubt Arsenal would probably go in for him just because he'll sell a shirt or two or something. But
that's a sell a shirt.
I have no doubt they're going to go in for Sterling to sell a shirt or two as well. But
yeah, Lewis, you take him at Chelsea?
How many wingers do they want?
Not even that. How many average wingers do we want? Like, we just want to add another overpriced one to the list. I am good. I'm beyond good. No,
do you know
already have PR merchants.
I actually think Spurs would be the perfect club for him if it weren't for our medical team. Because with his history of injuries, and us as well, I think we've had Benton, Corn, Romero not had an injury for like 3.5 years. First week here, bam, injury
it's true.
And
that is kind of mad.
Knowing Rashford's history the last couple seasons with the surgeries and stuff he's had, that's the reason why Spurs would not be a good fit for him. But I think our level is just something he would probably be good at and would need. Is sort of shining in a team that's looking to get into the Champions League. I think that's the sort of perfect level for him.
Do you
No
know
one's mentioned them.
do you
Were
know
you
what's
just
gonna-
like to mention them, Matt?
Newcastle.
Well, yeah,
Ooh.
Newcastle, but do you know what though? And Dan L just made a valid point, yeah.
He ain't getting
Or
ahead
so
of
to
St.
speak.
Max.
You see where he's got
No,
Everton written all
No,
over him,
no,
yeah?
no.
One thing I'll say is this. You see Rashford, this is gonna sound mad, yeah? Rashford is gonna become, in my opinion, I know George won't like me saying this, but like he's gonna become a bit like he's either gonna go the Dele Alli route, even though Dele Alli's mostly of injuries, but I just feel like Rashford has to be very careful with his career in terms of he could become that Everton player where like he's just there and no one really cares, or he goes somewhere and kind of rejuvenates his career because it's so mad. Rashford ain't old, but he's been around for a long time. He played a lot of football for his age, and you can kind of see injuries are taking a toll on him. Remember, he's had the shoulder injury, he's had hamstring, he's had a few injuries, and he's battled back. But obviously, he's going through some stuff now. He has to be careful with his next move. I don't know whether staying at Manchester United is the best thing. Maybe he needs a fresh start. I don't know, but he has to pick that club very carefully. It's either because it's going to be an Everton situation, or he's going to take it to the next level. And we go, yeah, do you know what? Yeah, we should have known Rashford was going to pull through. Or we're going to go, bruv, you Rashford, man, kind of knew you weren't really going to make it. You know, it's going to be like that. There's no in between.
I think you're right. The similarities with Delhi, like injuries did play a massive part of his downfall.
Delhi's just injuries though.
And I think that's happening with Rashford as well, given the fact that his main attribute in his game is his pace and him trying to take on players.
Agreed.
If he's constantly been injured and can't get the game time, can't get the minutes, can't get his fitness up, how is he supposed to use that to his best abilities?
You know, Ollie needs to take some blame for that. Ollie last season,
100%.
Oh yeah,
the way he
destroyed him,
and even there was it in the Europa League final where he just kept him on, like for an obscene amount of time. Ollie has to take some blame for that. It was unfair, to be fair. And before that,
Ollie
you
takes
know what?
the majority.
He was firing. Yeah, I think so.
I think he takes the majority.
Oh,
guys, let us know in the comments. You taking Rashford or you not at Liverpool? For me personally, I wouldn't.
I wouldn't take him. I think Klopp could make him work, but I don't want him.
Diaz. You don't need to. You got Diaz
we
now.
don't. Yeah, we don't.
No,
Diaz, Mane,
You're looking
Jota,
behind than Rashford. Let's be real. Like he's been asked for how long?
I don't think it's not even look. It's not Liverpool signing either.
No,
not Liverpool signing, not a City's. It's one of those where if he signs for my team, I'm fuming. Like why have we got him?
Liverpool get gems. Liverpool get little gems.
Barkley in 2018 again. Like, I'm not interested.
Saying that, he's not going to get ahead of Son either, so he wouldn't even get in the Spurs squad 11. So
exactly.
Yeah. West Ham, Newcastle, Villa, any of those will do. Probably.
Good shouts.
Yeah.
Right. So now we're moving to the top 4 debate, guys. So as things stand in the league table right now, Arsenal have played 27 games on 51 points. Man U played 29 games on 50 points. West Ham 29 games, 48 points. Spurs played 28 games, 48 points. Wolves 29 points and 46 points. Arsenal and Tottenham are the only 2 teams have got a game in hand, but coincidentally, your game in hand is Arsenal, right, George?
Yeah.
Arsenal have 2, right?
They
Arsenal have 2, but Chelsea's their other game in hand. So even though everyone was saying Arsenal nailed on, and I still think Arsenal might get it, to be honest, after the result they had against us last night, which was absolutely glorious, it's blowing it wide open again. So,
that's what we needed.
George, I'm going to come to you first.
Yes.
Who's now Arsenal still favourites for this? And if they're not, who is, in your opinion?
I think Arsenal still are, because I think looking at their fixtures, though, I think it's just those games in hand. So Chelsea and Spurs, I'm almost certain are pretty much their only like real tough fixtures, if I'm not mistaken. We've got you guys away, which obviously I'm expecting a loss there. But apart from that, again, if we beat Arsenal, we're in as well. But I can't even talk about us because our form's just way up and down at the moment.
Yeah,
you talked to me a few weeks ago. If it's obviously ifs, buts, and maybes, but the games that we should have won, but Burnley beat us, haven't won a game since. Southampton beat us, can barely win a game since. Wolves, okay, they're doing all right, but obviously a few, as you can see there, 3 losses in a row after they beat us. So it's like we're too up and down at the moment, and it's just simply the case for us that we just have to beat everyone else but Liverpool to stand a chance of getting top 4. And it's a big arse, man. So yeah, I think Arsenal is still there. And Man United, even though they beat us, they looked woeful, absolutely woeful, and they have done every single game. So I don't trust them to get it either. and West Ham are West Ham. So yeah, I think Arsenal's still the favourites, but we need to seriously pick up our form and get some consistency if we want that top 4.
Fair dues. Matt, what are you saying? Who in your opinion is favourites for the top 4?
As things stand, I still think it's Arsenal because even though obviously they had to learn yesterday, yeah, you got to look at it in terms of like out of the teams that are left up until yesterday where they had to learn, their form has been really good. It actually has. You look at it as out of the 5 games, it's 4 wins, isn't it? And they were on their trajectory is picking up, and they've got that togetherness where I feel like if Conte was there like from the start of the season, I feel like Spurs might be that team. But because he wasn't there from the beginning, they're only kind of maybe getting into a bit of form now. And as George said, they're still a bit inconsistent. But I think he irons that out next season. Man United, as we know, under Wreck-It Ralph, yeah, the game against Atletico kind of shows you as good as Man United can be when they play the so-called lower teams, yeah, they've still got that in them where they can just lose a game just like that. And like, I don't know. I know. And again, like I look at their form. Their form's not bad, but the draw and the loss there, where you compare that to Arsenal, and Arsenal got the 2 games in hand. I know Arsenal still got to play Spurs, and I believe that Man United, like you said, I'm going to say Arsenal.
Fuck's sakes, West Ham scored. Can't be.
I'm going to say Arsenal though. I'm going to say Arsenal.
Is that Europa League or?
Yeah,
Europa League.
I was going to say he's playing tonight. Yeah. I'm going to say Arsenal though, Carl. I'm going to say Arsenal still.
Cool. Daps, I'm going to come to you with a slightly different question.
Oh.
Who will suffer the most out of Arsenal, Man United, Spurs? In fact, I'm going to keep it with those 3. Arsenal, Man United, and Spurs. Who will suffer the most if they don't get top 4? And why?
Spurs. I hate doing this because I'm a City fan. And we're not a big club, but it's because it's ultimately that's what I'm going with. Look, unfortunately, Arsenal will always be seen, although it's getting lesser and lesser and less. They will always be seen as a fashionable club. You know, they've got this certain. There's some players. The fact is, there are some players that just genuinely want to live in London, right? And Arsenal. That's why they get some really bad players with bad attitudes because of that exact reason. United have a project, a very clear project that they're going to have a new manager coming in, new direction. Hopefully they won't, but the narrative is they're going to have a project. So that can get sold to players to pull them in, and they're Man United. Arsenal, they have a project. They have a process that currently, I will admit, is working at the moment. They've gone from 9th to 4th, and they're generally winning the games they should win, unlike United and Tottenham. So I think it would be Tottenham that feels it the most.
Do you know what? I do agree with the fact that like it will affect us because we don't have that attraction to come to Spurs without it.
Yeah.
But there's also not really an expectation with Spurs either at the moment. Whereas I feel like for me personally, I think it's Man U that will suffer the most. Just like in particular to that question, just purely because if you look at the way they're playing at the moment as well, it's not good. There's a lot of issues in the team at the moment with obviously the whole Rashford situation. You've got a lot of piling on Maguire, Ronaldo, given the fact he'll have 1 year left. They need a striker who they're going to bring in. Cavani's going to go. There's a lot of ifs and buts around Man U.
Oh, the manager's the biggest if and buts.
And the manager as well, which is looking like Ten Hag or Poch at the moment. And there's question marks to both as to whether that will take them to the next step. And I feel like, for me personally, I just think in terms of who will suffer without Champions League, I think that'll be Man U because then they look, they're supposed to be there every year, right? That's what they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
And it looks far less attractive to go to Man U next year. If they don't have it, whereas at least we can sort of sell a certain. Oh, we got Conte, we got a project happening, right? We're gonna spend money this year. Sure, yeah.
I think that's the key, though. It's the key is right. It's not just the manager. The key is also the board. The board need to ultimately listen to the manager. If they're not going to listen to the manager, it don't fucking matter. It does not matter who they get. It's that simple. But let's hope it stays the same, right?
Louis, I'm going to come to you now. And I'm gonna probably ask you probably the worst question out of this. So apologies in advance, bro. If you had to pick one out of Man United, Spurs, and Arsenal to finish in the top 4, who would you pick and why?
Fucking hell, this is like a 1 to 4 of the teams I hate the most. Oh my gosh. Literally all you need is Barcelona and there's my top 5.
Man said, which way do you gonna kill me, you know?
Literally. Like, either
So
way, it
painful.
stinks. See, here's the thing. Like, I've said it so many weeks on here. The top 4 race has no consistency in it. That's why all the teams are involved in the top 4 race. So it's going to be really hard to predict. West Ham, because they're going forward in Europa, I'm ruling them out of it. Tottenham, with Conte, they could still pull themselves up, in all honesty. It all depends on the North London derby, and I wouldn't say it's completely impossible that they get a result, and there's the North London derby. Form goes out the window. And
you got West Ham Sunday as well, which is
that is massive. Actually, I didn't even know that.
Huge game.
Yeah, so it could change based on that too. But if it's not Arsenal, could be Tottenham. In all honesty, could be. United stink. Let's just be real. Top to bottom, they absolutely stink. Like if they're making top 4, every team below them needs a serious assessment of where they fucked up in the season. They're an embarrassment.
Don't worry, I'm doing that anyway.
Yeah, West Ham. Nah, I don't think so because I think they focus too much on Europa. Arsenal or Tottenham for me.
Fair dues, fair dues. All right, so we're gonna do a little quiz for you, but before we do that, I'm just gonna read out some of the comments and super chats. So Matt's Wi-Fi says, "Did you guys see the protester in the Everton Newcastle game? He tied his neck to the goalpost. Groundsman had to get a massive pair of bolt cutters to cut it." Yeah,
I saw the footage. Did you not see the footage of the guy cutting the thing? It's going on Twitter. It's like going viral. When you see the video, you might gonna be on the floor. You might gonna be on the floor when you see the video. In fact, I'm gonna get the video in here actually.
Yeah. What's the moral of the story though? Why support everyone? You can support Liverpool. Like, why do it to yourself? Usman says Champions League joins tomorrow. Who do you want? All right, we'll go around the circle for this one. Daps, who do you want Champions League?
I wanted United so badly, you know. Badly. I know I wanted United to go through just to smash them out of the Champions League because it would have been the easiest draw. Come on, let's be honest. It would have been the easiest draw.
This guy do that though. Sorry, I just saw the picture of the guy.
But I think, I mean, firstly, I want a trip to Villarreal. I want a trip to Spain. So, and it's see, a lot of the City lot are saying Benfica, but I just worry that Bernardo Silva won't be able to turn up against his childhood club. So I'll go Villarreal or Benfica. I just don't want Liverpool. That's the one thing I've said. I do not want Liverpool ruining our season 3 times in a week or 2 weeks.
Well, we had Chelsea ruin ours for three in a week.
Yeah.
It could have been 4. If we beat Middlesbrough, it could have been it would have been 5 losses and potentially without scoring against Chelsea one season, which would be something.
No, I imagine going to White Hart Lane with no fans. Oh, God forbid.
But I do think there is a thing between Chelsea, City, and Liverpool fans that none of us really want each other. Like if we're being honest and we look at the teams in there. Go on.
Oh,
give me anyone. Give me anybody, bro.
Champions of Europe, you know what you are, yeah? Okay.
Not just champions of Europe, world champions too. Like, let's be real. I've always said this to the Champions League. Like, I was pissed when we drew Lille twice in the Champions League last 16. I don't want Lille. It's the fucking Champions League knockout rounds. I want the best teams because we have a team that's capable of beating anybody over 90 minutes. So to me, it's like, give me Bayern, give me PSG, give me Real Madrid, Liverpool, Man City. I don't give a shit. Give me any of them. If we get knocked out by them, we don't deserve to win. Good point. I already care too much. Like, give me the best fixtures because that's what European football's about. I don't want to try and sneak away off a result against Benfica or Villarreal or something like that. It'd be nice to face them, obviously, and they will provide a competition. But I want Europe's elite.
Listen, I'll sneak a Champions League right now. I'm not gonna lie, I'll sneak it. Listen, take it, man. Listen. I think personally, right now, last season should be taken from you and handed to the team that you played in the final.
Same with the
why
16,
is that?
17
Why
season,
is that?
or 17.
Well, I mean, it's just
George, you are shameless. We
I
are
don't-
not. Come on, what is this?
just why not? They're sanctioning you with everything else. Just give us the Champions League, man. We'll take it.
They're coming for you lot
next.
next. They're coming for you lot next.
Well, I'm saying
Unless we get Saudi on us,
blocking my
of
face
course.
because I can't get involved
Carl,
in these combos.
you see the guy that got wrapped himself around the post or whatever, yeah. So there's a tweet going around saying, "Look at the effort the man put in." You see the bolt cutter guy, yeah. Look at the effort that he put in. When you see his face,
What you? Oh my god!
bro, I don't understand.
What did he tie himself with? What, a chain?
No,
Bro,
he had
you know that-
he had one of those plastic.
plastic thing. Yeah.
Dude.
Bro, look at the effort he puts in there. Look at the man teeth. Everyone say, "Look at that man teeth." Look,
He's using proper bolt.
It looks
cutters
like
as
Kenny
well.
Everett.
Hold on. A normal pair of scissors gets that sorted. Why is your bolt gun?
They added 14 minutes at a time, wasn't it, or something as well?
Oh my goodness.
Everton scored in the 99th minute.
fam.
Oh my.
He must have used some. He must have got his one from a next shop, boy.
Must have. Jamrock says, when you're a public figure, it comes with the territory. Unless someone invades your personal space and you feel threatened, they get greenlit. I think that's a common consensus. I'll be honest, Jamrock. And again, touch wood, no one's done anything to me like physically or tried to, but I'll be honest, I don't think it should even get that far. I don't think it should just be someone invading your personal space or you feel threatened. I think it's the moment it's an abuse, it's like, what's going on here? And again, I do live by the motto, I would never say something online about someone or to someone that I wouldn't be willing to say to their face and face the consequences. Because ultimately, that's what it is. Anyone who disrespects, let's say Anthony Joshua, I've seen mad stuff about Anthony Joshua. I genuinely would love to see you go and say that to his face and then see what the consequences are going to be, because you never do it. If you saw Anthony Joshua walking down the street, you're not going to walk up to him and say, "You're a crap box with a glass chin." You're just not, are you?
No, they'll ask for a photo and then abuse him later on the separate account.
Yeah, you know what? I agree with that. That's why I'm not too keen on spaces, you know. I feel like there's a hierarchy, right? And I quite like when I go down to the terrace and do it face to face, I quite like that because it's a bit more respectful, right?
Yeah.
And then there's YouTube where generally you can see people's faces. I feel like whenever I step in spaces, there's people willing to be rude, to be frank. And it's like, and then you look at their picture, and I think we've probably touched on it about 5 times. Their picture generally is a picture of a football player. And it's like, that's why you're speaking to me like that. And that's why I kind of try and avoid spaces, because I don't work well with that.
No, fair play, bro. Fair play, man.
No, it's a shame it's like that, but yeah, it is true. Big up to Dave's LFC chats. Guys, make sure you go and check out Dave's channel, one of our favorites here. Also, another one, big up Big Six Bants. He says, Pep, check your shoulders, G. You're back to your days as a DM.
Hey, I like that.
Big up Monts. I also big up Monts because he went head to head with Troops on the football terrace.
Hey, if you ain't seen it, go check it out. Big up Terry, big up Monts, big up Troops.
My guy Monts, and Monts, I'm coming for you tomorrow now for that.
Come on. All right, guys. So we're gonna do a little quiz before we check the FPL. But basically, guys, when we check the FPL, we're just checking
we're just checking to see how much points George has got, basically. How many points did George get this week? Do you know what I mean?
KG hauled big on this week, so
yeah.
But George, just like you're so unaffected. You're like, George is clear, you know. When I say
George's won next season's one already, bro. That's how clear George is right now. George is won 2022, 2023 season.
It's so mad.
I'm trying to get a feature on the website. That's what I'm trying to do.
All right. So, guys, I'm going to ask you all a question. Go around the circle, see who gets it right and wrong, and I'll tally up the answers at the end.
Oh, God.
All right.
So
currently, and I'm going to get rid of the league table. I've taken that off the screen. Currently, which team in the top 4 race, that is Arsenal, Man U, West Ham, Spurs, and Wolves, has the best goal difference? So, Matt, I'll start with you. You're next to me. You're next to me, innit? You're next to me, bro. It is what it is, man. It is what it is.
Arsenal, was it Arsenal?
Arsenal,
say
Man
4 teams
U.
again.
Arsenal,
and I won't look at
Man
the comments
U.
either about it. I'm actually going to look away.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Go on. Say it again, Carl.
Arsenal, Man U,
Mhm.
West Ham, and Spurs. Who has the best goal difference?
It's not Spurs. I remember because George was talking about that a couple of weeks ago. West Ham's. It's either Man United or Arsenal. All right, I'll be quick. It's gonna be I'm gonna say Man United.
All right. Daps, who you saying, bro?
Arsenal.
George?
I don't know.
Well, it definitely isn't us. we were
thought-
Was Harry Kane and Son? No.
we were on 0 2 weeks
They
ago.
were on 0, I remember.
Until the Leeds game. We're now plus
Yeah.
9.
No one put it in the comments, by the way, please. No one put the answer in the
Yeah,
comments, please.
I'll
I'm
put the
begging you.
comments
Just to
away.
make... I'm coming off comments as well. I'm
I'm
looking
trying to
at
work out
banners
who's
right now.
drawn.
So no one say it, please.
More out of Arsenal. Even though Man U play badly, I think they still win games. So I don't think they lose by loads of goals. I'll say Man U.
Lewis, who you got, bro?
So, best goal difference out of all the top 4 contenders.
Yeah.
Probably West Ham. United have been battered. Tottenham have been battered. Arsenal got bad start of the season. So probably West Ham.
Cool. All right, Lewis, I'm going to stay with you and then we'll go around the circle in reverse now. Which team has conceded the least?
Yeah, that's even harder, you know.
That's hard, bro.
So quiz you, man. What? I should have done a
Arsenal.
soundboard just on the reactions. All I
Like,
heard.
conceded the least goals.
Say that again.
Conceded the least goals.
Conceded the least, yeah.
Oh, man can't be making a quiz with all the
Arsenal.
contestants of this out here just struggling.
Yeah,
Not...
Arsenal.
George, what are you saying, bro?
I think it's Arsenal because of their home form.
Cool.
I think they've won quite a few at home.
All of them have been dicked. I'm just thinking, you man dicked United. We dicked Arsenal. I think United though. Actually, nah. It's 3. You're going Arsenal, Man United, Tottenham, West Ham, yeah?
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna go West Ham.
Fair enough. And Matt, who are you saying, bro?
It's out of Arsenal, West Ham, you know. I'm just trying to think. Come on, God, Tottenham have held smoke and so have Man United. But I'm trying to think. I don't think West Ham have been battered like.
That's what I'm thinking.
Like
I'm trying
fully
to work out.
in the mud.
You're right, actually.
I'm gonna go West Ham, you know. I'll probably go it wrong, but I'm gonna go West Ham.
They lose 1-0, don't they? Fuckers.
Yeah, they don't really get battered, innit? I'm trying to, you're just trying to think like.
And even like I go back to when I think they played United and it was like 3-2 or something. Even when it's like
it's always
the other team they
like
counteract a bit. It's like one difference. Yeah.
All right, Daps, I'm going to start with you this time and then go randomly this time.
City.
Who's going to get relegated next year? Oh, watch him.
It's fine. I've been there, done that. Got the team twice.
Which team has scored the most goals?
Oh my god!
You know what? I heard how many goals we'd scored earlier and was shocked because all I can think of is like the last 8-9 games, and I'm thinking, how the fuck have we scored that many this season? I think it's got to be Liverpool. You know, I think.
No, I'm talking about just top 4.
Oh shit, my bad. Yeah, sorry, we're not in that category.
No, we're not there. Unfortunately,
we're not
there.
there.
Yeah.
Not West Ham.
Scored the most.
You know what? I'm gonna go. Tottenham.
Yeah, Spurs.
All right. Oh no. Whoa. No, go on. Icy quiz.
No, go on.
Yeah.
It's cool. Cool.
George, who are you saying?
I'm trying to think about the amount of goals Man U have scored against Leeds. Man U.
Man U.
Yeah.
Matt, who are you going with?
Man United.
And what about yourself, Lewis, bro?
So what is it? Who scored the most goals?
Yeah, in the top 4 race.
This is a hard one. It's either West Ham or maybe United for me. I'm probably so wrong on this, but I'm gonna say United.
Fair dues. And then the last question, George, going to start with you on this one.
Go on.
Which of those teams have had the most draws?
Oh, not us, because we don't draw ever. I think we've drawn 3 games. Arsenal is similar as well. I don't think they've drawn that. I think West Ham have drawn the most.
Okay.
I think they draw to random teams like Southampton every week.
Listen, there's
You
nothing
say,
wrong with
Matt?
Southampton, okay?
we lost to them as well. So.
What are you saying, Matt?
I think West Ham. I think it's West Ham. Man United don't draw games. They either win or lose. Same thing with Spurs. Spurs do not draw, and neither do Arsenal. I can't remember. Arsenal don't really draw games. It's got to be West Ham for me.
Okay. Daps, what are you saying, bro?
Yes, I'm going West Ham. West Ham.
Go West Ham. And then Lewis, yourself, bro.
Probably West Ham. West Ham. Yeah, West Ham.
Wait until we all get that one wrong because we all said West Ham.
And it's going to be United, isn't it? 100%.
Yeah,
Nah,
it'll be
West Ham.
United.
West Ham. West Ham.
Something
Alright.
stupid.
I'll reveal the answers now then, guys. So the first question I asked was best goal difference. The answer is actually West Ham and Arsenal. They're both on the same amount.
What did I say?
Oh, for goodness sake. Who did I say?
I actually can't remember.
I said Man
I know.
United, didn't it?
Yeah, you're wrong. I've just got you down as a cross still. Which team have conceded the least amount of goals? The answer is Arsenal.
Wow.
What?
I think I said Man U.
I can't remember who I said,
I
bro.
don't remember what I said either.
I can't remember.
Did I say Arsenal? I think I said
I think
Arsenal. Yeah, I said
yes,
West
you
Ham
did.
for the
You
first
did.
one. Arsenal.
Yeah, you did.
Let's go.
The team
I've
that
lost
scored
this
the
game.
most, again, it
Yeah.
was 2 teams. It's Man U and West Ham.
Okay, I said that.
Let's go.
I think I
And
got
then
1 point for that.
The team with the most draws is actually Man United.
Oh,
What?
It was my
I was
second
gonna say-
pick. I can't be
I was
arsed.
going to say United, but you lot put me off saying, no, they don't draw.
But
I
Man
just
United
thought they
don't
were too
really
shit
draw
to draw.
games, though.
Clearly they do.
They do, bro.
Really?
No, man.
Oh,
Maybe just no one
God.
cares.
Yeah, no one really cares in it when they draw it. It's like, oh well, next game.
Next game.
Alright.
Oh, team.
So the overall points tally is
I got
Matt,
one.
you got half a point. Daps, you got half a point.
Oh, I
George,
get
you got
more
1.5
for the first
points,
time.
but the
I'll get
winner
bonus.
is Lewis on
So
2
that-
points.
Always second. to
World
something.
champions, let's go. Up the Chelsea,
Sorry,
stay
take-
conquering.
Take the sponsor
Come
off.
on.
Take the sponsor off.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. My bad. Bun free. Let's go. Come on.
It'll be
And that is
nice.
no,
Loyal
the top
sponsors
bikini,
only.
you know.
Viva Trivago. Come on.
All
Viva Trivago. Let's go.
right, guys, just before we're going to show the
man.
FPL, just got one super chat here from Sam Max Legends. Maguire creates more chances for the opponents than the opponents do for themselves. He should be top on chances and assists. Let Varane man Maguire.
You know what though? This is a thing I always say about Man United. To the teams that are playing them for the rest of the season, all you have to do is just play football. They'll make a mistake.
Yeah.
Agreed.
We
Simple
tried
as
that
that.
and we made mistakes, but we
Agreed.
moved.
Oh yeah.
Play football.
Listen, you only take points off of one team in Manchester.
Oh yeah, it's all right. Let's go.
All right, gonna share the FPL where obviously we know who's winning. We're just gonna see who else has moved in the table.
Yeah, George is clear, man.
Yeah,
And
George.
Cage
George
I think Cage had a great week as
Yeah,
well.
he had a great week this week.
oh,
yeah.
Look at
yeah, but
that,
George,
bro.
you acting like you had a mediocre. Man, you got 91 points, bro.
I should have said
I
My
know.
triple,
mine.
my triple captain was a
Man.
failure this week. Salah let me down.
Oh, 91 points. So George
I
is
was on-
sitting on top on
I had a bad week.
5,000 points. George is sitting on pretty much. KG second on 1,661. Matt You're in third still, 1,554. Drifty, 1,411.
Oh,
That
Cal, you're
that
catching
fourth
it, you know.
Didn't I tell you I'm gonna what happened? I said I was gonna
I'm
start
not
taking it a
gonna
bit more
lie.
serious.
Hey, Drift, if you're watching, fam,
I said I'm gonna start
Holy.
taking it more serious. You see, I'm on
I'm
it
not
now.
gonna
I'm on it now.
lie.
Yeah.
Right, I just saw that super chat, guys.
I was going to say, sorry,
Let's
is
go.
that currency correct?
Yeah.
I'm looking at it like, what?
Nah, it is. We're gonna read it. We're gonna read it in a
Yeah,
second.
yeah,
Well,
we
in
will,
fact,
we
you know
will.
what? Actually, you know what? Let me read it now.
Don't
You know what?
even
Big
know.
up
yeah,
Rack. He's
yeah.
saying hi. Yo, big up Rack. You know, Rack is listen, man. Big
Long
big
time
person for
supporter.
our channel. Yeah, big long time. Man's known Rack from day. Big up Rack, man. Appreciate that love, man.
Thank
Love
you,
Rack.
man.
Yeah,
as
big
always,
up,
man.
Rack. Don't
Thank
forget
you.
to check out Carefree Lewis G as well, my guy. Come on, yeah. Big up.
Wow, I'm having to get the streaming still.
Is it careful or shame or
2:30
shameless?
p.m. every day on my channel. Let's go.
It's definitely shameless.
I appreciate that right now. On a serious note, though,
Nah,
thank you, my
Rack.
bro. Thank
Much
you, my bro. Love,
appreciated.
my bro.
Thank
Trust
you.
me.
Sixth place is Lewis. Again, not very far. Do you know, I've got a couple of weeks breathing room potentially if I have a couple of mares. And yeah, Aaron is in the mud fully in the mud.
Yeah, he just better look for his t-shirt right now, but one he wants
Yeah,
to get,
yeah,
bro.
yeah.
That's
He's got to choose between what, City and Liverpool.
Oh,
Yeah, I might even do a hybrid, George, and just get
half
two
and half.
and just stick
half
them
and
together,
half.
bro. Just
Half
stitch
and
them
half,
together.
like when you can get one of the scarves, isn't it? When they do half
Yeah,
and half
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Half and half shirts. Are you invented it? Is that a thing?
it used to be. I had an Ireland and USA one when I was a little kid for the World Cup. Yeah, they used to do them.
Bit of a random combo.
Right. But guys, that brings us to the end of this show. Obviously, as always, got a shout out to Lewis and George who are here all the time, but Daps as well, bro. Your first time on the show.
Yeah, man.
Really
appreciate
appreciate
coming on.
Enjoyed it, man. Enjoyed it. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Appreciate it.
Yeah,
guys, we will be back tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow during the day. Keep an eye on social media, but we'll definitely be back in the evening to do our normal call-in show where you guys have to call in, say what you guys are feeling, and we've got to speak about and answer your questions and comments. Please do follow us all on social media. As I said at the beginning of the show, hit the link in the description for all the channels that have appeared on the show tonight. So that is Never a Foul with Daps, George's channel, and Carefree Lewis's channel. Also, Aaron's channel and KG's channel is in the chat as well. Guys, I don't just say this lightly. They come on here, they sacrifice their time, they come and join us, they give you guys content. Please, guys, show them the support that they show to our channel. Please do it, guys, and make sure you get them numbers up for those guys. So, until next week, guys. Obviously, it's a big weekend of football. FA Cup, Premier League, big game for you, George.
Big game.
Lewis, Daps, we've got FA Cup. Matt, we've got FA Cup as well.
Indeed.
Until we see you all, thank you all for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Stay safe, stay blessed. We are Kopish, and we are out, people. Take care.